Welcome back to the Bears Sports Network here on BTV for the second game of today's doubleheader. The Bears and the Falcons face off once again, this time the women's teams. The Bears on a little bit of a hot streak recently, got the win against Worcester State here on Saturday. And that was a big win for them in the MASCAC. In case you're just joining us, the men got a close win, 74-70 against Fitchburg State. Their first MASCAC win on the year, Zach, and that was one they very much needed. They really can't afford to lose another MASCAC game. But the women, they've been on the other side of things, have had a lot better outcomes this season than the men. They've been the stronger team. And like I said, they're coming off a hot streak, 3-game win streak. Bridget Casey recently notched her 700th career game coached. Also notched her 400th career win. So 2 big milestones for her here in this season. That win was against Framingham State. That was an away game, which kind of stinks for her that she wasn't able to do that at the Tinsley Center, but still a huge milestone for her. As we get ready to take you through 4 quarters of action here today, my name is Luke Mansfield.
And my name is Zach Sylvia.
For the Bears, you have the usual 5 starters. And for the Falcons, Jenner, Somm, Hart, Harlow, and Hart. So it's Catherine Hart and Stephanie Hart, which means we're going to have to start using first names when they have the ball. But it's been rough, like we were talking about during the break, for the Falcons as of late. Only 3 wins on the season, or as of late, the whole season. Only 3 wins on the season, and last week, not so great for them either.
No, not at all. Fitchburg has lost 7 straight games coming into this one. In a little fact I looked up earlier, Bridgewater has beaten Fitchburg State 12 straight games over the past couple of years. So a rough stretch for this Fitchburg team, but some good signs as Stephanie Hart, last game, 17 points, 20 rebounds, 4 assists, as well as Harlow with 21 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. So they have performers, but they just cannot finish.
And 20 boards is absurd. I mean, in a single game, I wish we had a camera on when we were reading those stats, because that was great. The reaction I had, I was shocked. 20 boards in one game and not able to get the win for the Falcons last time out. It's been, like I said, not a great season for them. 3-10 on the year. And the Bears doing a lot better, especially as of late. They went on a little bit of a skid late 2024, and then to open things up in 2025, but they've been on a roll ever since that game against Framingham. They've been solid. Like we said, 3 straight wins for the Bears, including 2 MASCAC wins. That win against Framingham, the win against the Lancers on Saturday. And so they're definitely in a good position now going forward for the rest of the season. And it should be a higher scoring game for the Bears here against Fitchburg. Last time out against the Lancers, they were down a couple players. Jordan Peebles and Bridget O'Sullivan Van Etten both out last game. They're both back here today. And those are 2 of the favorite bench options for Coach Bridget Casey. Usually 2 of the first players off with Mairead Gallagher. It's usually those 3 who come off the bench for the Bears, and they're happy to have them back here to take on the Falcons.
Yeah, especially for the Bears coming into this game, obviously look to shoot way better, shooting around 37.3% from the field, 14% from 3, so not a very good shooting day. So they look to improve in those areas.
Yeah, that game, shooting-wise, was not good for either team, so the Bears got lucky in that regard because they didn't have to worry about the offensive output of the Lancers, but that's obviously not where you want to be offensively. As a team, that's going to be something they look to improve. And something that's been nagging them all season, Zach, is the free throws. They have struggled from the charity stripe this year, and that has cost them games. And they've slowly improved over time. They're still not where you want to be, but they have some players who are consistent. Burchart has been a relatively good free throw shooter for the Bears this season. There's a couple other names on the roster who have been pretty good, but for the most part, as a whole, the team struggled.
Yeah, shooting around 64% from the line all year long. Not the numbers you really want to see. But where Bridgewater really took that game was on the defensive end, forcing 24 turnovers. Obviously with Kylie Peachy having a couple herself. And with the Falcons going back to their last game, they had 46 turnovers against Westfield. That's not going to win you games.
Yeah, and Westfield is a great team. We've seen them here multiple times over the last couple of years, but regardless, 46 turnovers against any team is absolutely absurd. And to your point about the shooting for the Bears in that game against the Lancers, Bridgewater only made 3 threes the entire game. One of them was the first basket that wasn't a free throw by the Bears. Haley Burchart hit it maybe a minute and a half into the game, probably less. Then Bradbury hits a 3 early in the third. And then Bradbury again hits another 3 late in the fourth to extend the Bears' lead. So it was just not a great game shooting anywhere, but especially the 3 ball as Demores wins the tip-off and Grossi has the ball now for the Bears. Grossi thought about the shot, swung to the corner for Burchart. Peachy has it, Grossi has it back. Inside for the Moors, out to Burchart again. Bounce pass underneath for Cleveland, broken up by Hart.
Just good ball movement, just a bad pass inside, and Stephanie Hart right there.
Catherine Hart had the ball, and she got fouled. Foul is called here on Haley Burchart. And you can see her right there on the replay. Kaylin Tanner with the ball now for the Falcons. Tanner tries to put it off the glass, not going to get it to drop. Peachy and Grossi working quickly in transition. Kylie to the paint and off the glass. Grossi strikes first.
Good pass there by Peachy as Burchart steals.
Just too high of a pass there, and Burchart right place, right time. Peachy able to keep that in bounds. Not a great pass there from Burchart, but the Bears maintain possession. Grossi lobs inside for Demores, can't put it off the backboard. And the Falcons get the rebound at Somm. Falcons will try the long ball. Riley Harlow not going to get it to drop. Nobody in the area for either team. Peachy just going to watch that one roll out of bounds, and she'll take it from the sideline for the throw-in.
Peachy last game with 10 points, 10 assists, and 6 boards, along with 3 steals. So a double-double from her.
Grossi in the corner for 3. Off the side of the iron. Cleveland tried to tip it away, but the Falcons able to come up with the rebound. Pass across for Somm. Bounce pass underneath for Stephanie Hart. Great pass by Eliza Somm. Peachy out to Demores up top. Thought about the 3. She'll pass it off. Burchart called for a travel. Somm got her foot in the way. Burchart had to move over it. And that's going to be where the travel's called.
Yeah, I see Hart basically getting away. Forces her to kind of take it the other direction. So it is the right call there.
Just not a lot Burchart could have done in that situation, though, as Peachy almost breaks one up. Swatting in the paint by Jess Demores. It's going to be Falcons ball, but Demores stuffing Kaylin Tanner.
Bridgewater coming into this game has a massive height advantage in the paint. Demores being the only player 6 foot.
The Falcons don't have a player 5'10" or above. The Bears have 2 in Demores and Gallagher. The Bears aren't a relatively tall team either, but the Falcons, I'd say, are very much on the shorter side. Only 3 players 5'7" or taller. So the Bears will have the height advantage pretty much no matter who's on the floor, as Grossi unable to get her hand on that. Somm drives inside for 2.
Just a good finish. Nothing much Grossi could have done there.
Burchart over to Peachy. Peachy calls for Cleveland to go in the paint. Wide open in the corners, Grossi. She'll miss. Peachy there for the board. And the second effort.
Right place, right time there for Peachy.
Fouls called here on Demores. That's her first, second for the Bears. Sub's going to come on here for the Falcons, 3 on, 3 off. Som, Hart, and Hart off the floor for the Falcons. Bears still rolling with the starting 5. Tanner passes it over to Harlow. Harlow loses it, but it was knocked away by a Bears player. Bradbury going to sub on here for the Bears.
Looked deflected. I don't know by who.
Yeah, it looked like Ariel Cleveland from behind. You got a piece on it. Because on the replay, it's hard to tell. And it obviously wasn't Peachy. But it's going to remain Falcons ball. Tanner thinks about the 3. Tries to dribble around Peachy. Off the side of the rim. Peachy there for the board. Bradbury barely keeps it in bounds. Peachy misses the basket. And fouls called. Morgan Jeunesse, one of the players who just subbed on for the Falcons, alongside Alexis DeSimone and Michaela Gallum.
Grassy just, once again, right place, right time there. And we know her ability to draw fouls all season.
By far and away, the most free throw shot on this Bears team.
With 125.
Grassi, of course, the all-time leading scorer in the Bears women's basketball program, and a record that is only going to get piled onto as there's still plenty of season left. And she broke that record pretty early in the year, too. I'd say mid-December. As the Bears force a turnover, Grassi tries to put it off the glass, misses. Peachy's there for the second effort and the basket.
Grassy not able to finish it, but again, right place, right time there for Peachy.
Double teamed by Peachy and Grassi. Peachy tried to get her hand around there, forced the ball away from Jeunesse, who was able to find Harlow. Harlow misses the basket. Peachy not ready for the pass from Cleveland. It goes off her back. Falcons get the rebound, knocked around, and the Bears come up with the ball. Peachy off the glass, and she has another 6 points on the game for Kylie Peachy. The Kylies combining for 10. And that ball is going to go out of bounds. The Bears get possession here as Bradbury goes over to throw it in.
Kylie Peachy looking like a locomotive, driving right to the paint, taking it coast to coast, all by herself.
She had her in a spin cycle for a second. DeSimone not sure which way Peachy was going to go. As Grassi gets another one. She's got 6 now. A long pass looking for DeSimone. Bounces out of bounds. I'm not sure what the thought process was there. You have 3 other teammates to pass to. And I understand you had to get that pass high because you have the tallest player on the floor on DeSimone, but you have options.
Bridgewater's defense doing what it does best all year. It's forcing turnovers. And once again, Fitchburg having too many this early.
Out up top, Sophie Bradbury misses the rim. Grassi's there for the board, but unable to get the basket. Peebles and O'Sullivan Van Etten getting ready to sub on for the Bears. The 2 that were out last game returning to the lineup. As driving in for the finish is Riley Harlow.
Good move by Harlow. Had Demores basically run past her.
Demores tries a long 2. Right into the hands of Peachy. She's been in the right place so many times for these rebounds.
3 seconds.
3-second violation called on Cleveland. As her and Demores will check off. Peebles and Van Etten will check in.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Grassi and Peachy have all the offensive rebounds for this Bears team.
Demores has 1, and Cleveland has 1. Oh, you said offensive. That's total. I don't know if there's a way I can see just offensive rebounds here.
We'll get those at halftime.
I wouldn't be shocked. We will. They'll probably be irrelevant by then, but Peebles working in, passes it off to Grassi, who misses. Peebles with a tough rebound. Gets it to Peachy, now Grossi. Out up top, Bradbury. Bears moving the ball. Peebles has it baseline. Out up top, Bradbury all alone. Drives inside, shovels it over to Peachy for the long two, and Kylie Peachy has that shot working for her. And she'll get another.
Great passing by this Bears offense, and we saw it. And we know this team, once those passes get going and the ball moves around, this is where this team is best. I saw maybe 10-plus passes before a shot even went off.
Yeah, I was having trouble keeping up with all of them. But Peachy able to get the basket there. Her and Grossi combining for 14. Peachy with 8, Grossi with 6. And already, how about this? 6 boards for Kylie Peachy. Already in this game, 4 or 5 from the field. She has started out this game on fire.
She has indeed, coming off a double-double. Already very close to another one.
Hart has it working on Van Etten. And she gets called for a travel. Bradbury to take it up, joined by Peachy. Bradbury and Peachy, 2 players not with the team last year, though Sophie Bradbury's sister Sydney was, scored 1,000 points in her career with the Bears, hit that milestone last year. As Sophie fires away from 3 and gets him to go.
One of the better three-point shooters on this team. She gets going, look out.
Had 2 of the Peachy forces a steal. We'll get back to that. She drives in off the glass and she has another. But what I was gonna say was Bradbury had 2 of the only 3. The Bears had Van Etten with a steal now. We'll finish that thought eventually. What I was going to say was 2 of the 3 the Bears hit against the Lancers. Burchard, of course, had the other one, like we said. In the corner for Peachy, she'll look back, Bradbury. Bradbury joined as a transfer in her sophomore year out of UMass Boston. Peachy took a year off, came back for her COVID year as a grad student as Kylie Grossi gets one to go.
Little step back Bobby Jack for a 3, my goodness.
Another almost steal forced. Is Colby debuting a KG for 3 call? I think that was the first time I've heard him bust that out. As Grossi will take it up, she's got Peachy to her right. And that's where she'll go. Now it's Bradbury. The Bears just trying to create a shot, dumping it in for Van Etten. Bradbury will try again. And Sophie Bradbury is on fire from beyond the arc. The Bears just letting them fly. Bradbury 2 for 2.
This Bears offense has exploded. It was a 4-4 game, and since then it has been a 21-2 run for the Bears.
Hart inside, working on Van Etten, trying to muscle her way inside. Forces the ball back out to Somm for 3, and Eliza Somm answers back.
Need that for the Falcons. They need to keep moving that ball. That's where most teams are best. Can't have turnover after turnover.
Underneath. Van Etten unable to finish. Peebles swats the ball out of bounds on Somm. Bears going to send on 3 substitutions. It's Thompson, Gallagher, and Chloe Azoff. Coming on 2 freshmen joining the ranks on the court for the Bears, and Gallagher, the junior transfer out of Roger Williams, Bridgewater native, in her first year with the team. Her, Burchard, and Bradbury, 3 big gets. Transfer-wise for the Bears as Azoff makes an impact immediately, swatting that one away. Harlow misses off the rim, and Azoff is there for the Bears. Thompson rifles it underneath for Gallagher. She had to go up for that one, and it hits her hand, but unable to collect.
Thompson, usually a pretty good passer, just misses that one.
Adisa in the game now for the Falcons. Hart looking to work inside, flips it to Stephanie Hart. Outside now, Riley Harlow with a long ball, and she gets one.
Falcons like to see that 3 ball flying and getting in. Need that if you want to get back in this game.
Thompson rifles one to Azoff in the corner. Off the back of the rim, Peebles deflects it out of bounds. It's going to be Falcons ball. Under 10 seconds left to go. Van Etten with a steal. Azoff underneath. Pump fake off the glass. She misses. Tries to swat it back in. Bears still have the ball, and Azoff is sent to the ground.
Great job sticking with the ball here just after the miss. Not giving up on the play. Forces up the shot and gets fouled.
Foul is called on Stephanie Hart. Azoff will go to the line to shoot 2. And Chloe Azoff makes her first. It's actually her first trip to the charity stripe in her collegiate career. As she gets them both, and that'll end the first quarter, 27-12. Bears came out firing. It has been an explosion. Peachy, 5 of 6 from the field with 10. 6 boards, 2 assists to go along with it. Grossi, 9 points. Bradbury, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc with 6 points. And then Azoff with 2. For the Falcons, only 3 players have scored. Som and Harlow both have 5. Steph Hart with 2. So a lot of room for improvement for the Falcons. For the Bears, just don't take your foot off the gas.
You know, just got to keep pushing that ball, keep applying pressure on defense. So I don't know if we can see it. But turnovers-wise, Fitchburg already has 9 compared to Bridgewater's 5. So forcing turnovers once again.
And some of them were just costly. I mean, we saw that deep pass to DeSimone with Demores in coverage that missed everybody and just hit the sideline. We saw Van Etten catch a pass. There was no business for the Falcons to be passing that. She was the only one there. And it's just been a sloppy game so far for the Falcons. And like you said at the top of the broadcast, they've struggled in recent weeks and on the season as a whole with turnovers. It's Tanner, works in, goes out, Adisa. Gallagher almost gets a hand in there. Harlow with the ball now. Tanner from about 2 feet behind the arc misses it. And Azoff is right there for the Bears. Thompson drives in, tries to float that one off her right hand, and she will. Lexi Thompson. She is somebody you got to pay attention to if you're the Falcons. Because of her quickness, she'll just drive inside, and you can't even blink. Thompson will put one in. As they'll hit Hart with the travel here. Catherine Hart, that is.
There's Stephanie Hart with another rebound. And like I said before, prior, she had 20 boards in the game.
I mean, 20 boards, like we said, is absurd. And they'll call it double dribble.
I believe that's a carry.
Adisa rifles that one to Tanner. Tanner had no idea it was coming. Thompson's pressed up all over her and forces her out of bounds. They're going to call a foul on Thompson, though. Pushing Kaylin Tanner out of bounds. We get the replay for you right here. As you see, she had no idea that was coming, Zach.
I don't know.
I'm struggling to see where Lexi Thompson got that push in. It seemed like Tanner lost her balance. But I am not an official. That's a foul, as that'll send Stephanie Hart to the line.
It's a good play by Hart. One of the better players on Fitchburg, able to finish through contact. Good bucket.
And you see Van Etten just bumped into her. And that'll put Hart at the line for 1. And she'll miss it. Peebles there for the rebound. Thompson taking it up now for the Bears. Dishes to Azoff, all alone for three. In and out, an unlucky bounce for the freshman.
Tough break there for Azoff.
Hart inside for Harlow. Azoff tried to get a hand in there. Peebles defending closely, and there's a whistle on Jordan Peebles.
Plays pretty well defense. I don't know where the foul is. Hand straight up.
I get, you could make the argument Jordan leans into her for a second, but that's another one I don't know. I don't know. I'd say it's definitely not as bad as the push called on Thompson down on the other end. But that's a debatable call. And again, I'm not one of the officials, so it's not, well, it is my space. I have a headset on.
Bridgewater's offense got to get going a little bit. 2 minutes with only 2 points.
Tried to rifle it inside for Van Etten. Hadiso sent that one all the way to the corner. Or no, she didn't. She was just the one who went to go track it down. Harlow sent it all the way to the corner. So still Bears ball as Peebles not able to score in the paint here. And the Bears come up empty. Hadiso loses it, though, on the sideline. And it's going to be Bears ball. The Kylie's going to sub back in. Azoff and Van Etten will head off. 2 leading scorers for the Bears thus far will join Peebles, Thompson, and Gallagher. Thompson loses it. Gallagher's right there. Flips over to Grassi. Not sure how Mairead Gallagher was able to keep that one in bounds. Passes it underneath. Peachy over to Thompson. Peebles, high points one. And puts it off the right side of the rim. Jordan Peebles with a well-earned basket.
Great pass inside.
And now Peebles with a steal. She's called for a travel after intercepting that one.
Did she even have a chance to catch the ball and even dribble?
I mean, she had just had the ball in her hand. That might have been premature. We'll show you the replay right here. As Peebles reads that one.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, no, that's, okay, never mind. It's a lot easier to judge things in slow motion. Grassi gets her hand on it. Thompson picks it up. Grassi all alone in the paint. And KG has another basket. Peebles got her hand on that one. Gallagher's there for the Bears. Gallagher. Bounce pass underneath for Peachy. Out up top, KG rips a three. In and out. And Harlow there with the ball.
Are you saying KG?
Yeah, you know, Colby was doing it. I feel inspired. Need to switch it up. The passing for the Bears has been very impressive. That pass by Gallagher in the baseline, absurd. And one thing I've noticed from calling games this season is she's a very good passer. And one of the Bears' best scorers in terms of field goal percentage. She's not one of their best scorers in terms of volume, but her and Peebles lead the team in field goal percentage as another travel called.
Maybe 2 turnovers for Peebles.
Both travels. And Gallagher, along with Thompson and Burchard, Burchard already does, are probably going to see the starting lineup next season with all the players the Bears will be losing as the Falcons come up empty again. Peachy loses it, and they'll say she last touched it. Cleveland and DeMoores will sub on. It's Peebles and Gallagher coming off.
So a couple of turnovers already in this last couple of minutes for Bridgewater. Not what you like to see. This team has struggled when they turn the ball over, but this team hasn't when they force turnovers like that.
Grassi gets fouled, and she'll go to the line again. Get that replay for you right here. Peachy intercepts the inbound. And then you can see DeSimone just had her whole left arm in there on Grassi. Grassi makes her first. You know, 2 straight years of calling her Grassi on broadcast, and only in her senior season do they correct me and tell me it's Grassi. As her and Peachy force a turnover, Peachy lefty layup off the glass. 37-16, full timeout called by the Falcons.
Peachy obviously coming into this game leading the Bears in steals with 56 on the season. Right now, take a look real quick.
It's not going to show there. You have to. We'll get them for you at halftime. The live stats don't have steals, unfortunately. They have team steals, which the Bears have 11. Actually, Peachy has 3. I mean, she had been off to a hot start with steals, and still averages 4 a game or so at least. She's been very good taking the ball away from the opposing team, and she continues to do so here today against the Falcons. It's Thompson, Grassi, Peachy, Demores, and Cleveland on the floor now for the Bears. Jeunesse, Somm, DeSimone, Harlow, and Guillaume for the Falcons. DeSimone working on Grassi. Grassi trying to force her to her left. And it works. I'm sorry, that was Thompson. As Peachy gets caught in stride and is able to get another. 14 points on the game for Kylie Peachy already in the first half as Thompson catches a shove right into Bridget Casey.
Peachy getting a lot of easy baskets early on, but that's forced by turnovers as we see a foul there on Thompson, already her second.
Jeunesse with the ball now for Fitchburg. The Falcons need something to get going here in the second quarter, and that's not it. They'll maintain possession, but it seems they just can't get anything going. 8 on the shot clock. Hart thinks about it, passes it off. Falcons have to shoot, and they're going to get to Moores with a foul.
Unbelievable. No.
It's the second of the game for Jess. It puts the Falcons in the bonus. And
I know I'm not a basketball expert, but I'm pretty sure when you put your hand straight up, I'm pretty sure that doesn't qualify to be a foul.
yeah, that was clean. If there's one player I feel gets just horrible fouls called against them, it's Demores. Like on a consistent basis, she'll just have her hands up, feet planted, and foul. And it happens at least once a game. I catch myself saying something about a bad call that they called against Demores. And it happened a little bit earlier than usual today. But
And she's fouled out a couple of times this year as well.
yeah, I mean, that was crazy. As you see a replay of the foul right there, it'll send Ariel Cleveland to the line. Somm will come off. Kaylin Tanner back out there as Cleveland goes to the line for 2. Riley Harlow getting ready to sub back on for the Falcons here as well. As that was about as unlucky of a bounce you can get on a free throw for Cleveland. Spun around the rim a couple times and bounced right back out. Cleveland cashes that one in. Harlow going to sub on here. And she'll get assigned to Cleveland. Catherine Hart dribbling through Peachy.
Blocking foul.
We got the replay for you right here.
maybe that right hand.
Yeah, I'd say that more than anything constituted the whistle, as Hart misses her first. (40-17), Bears lead, under 5 left to go. Cleveland thinks about the shot, opts to drive inside. Now she'll go back out, passes underneath for Grassi, who's fouled by Morgan Jeunesse. Emily Quinn and Bridget O'Sullivan Van Etten will come on. Lexi Thompson and Jesta Moores will head to the bench.
It sure is a mouthful of a name.
Yeah, she does. I've begun to just say Van Etten, other than when she's subbing on, as Quinn gets fouled immediately after subbing on. Fouls on Hart. This puts the Bears in the bonus as well. So both teams in the bonus with 4:32 left to go, as Emily Quinn comes right off the bench. Not even a chance to get hot, but she knocks the first one down, no problem. Called off the bench, Quinn gets fouled, sinks them both, and the Bears extend their lead further. 25-point lead here for the Bears. Harlow struggles with it in the corner. She's able to regain possession. Hart rifles it underneath for Jeunesse. Grassi almost got a hand on it, gets the board. Grassi sent to the ground, jump ball's called.
And a couple of those shots for Fitchburg have just pretty much just been unlucky rolls. There's been a couple of them in the game so far.
Yeah, they've had shots that were good. They just, like you said, have gone in and out, similar to what we saw in that Cleveland free throw. As she'll get her revenge on the rim there, sinking one from the corner.
Cleveland, not much of a three-point shooter, but gets the one to go there.
Cleveland and Peachy force the turnover. Peachy working in transition, flips to Cleveland. She'll drive in, hook shot from Mario Cleveland. Back-to-back possessions with baskets for the senior from Groveland.
Look out, Fitchburg. Cleveland's getting hot right now.
Feels like the whole team's getting hot right now, the way they've been playing. As that one goes out of bounds, it's going to remain Falcons ball. And Haley Burchart will sub back into the game. She'll replace Kylie Peachy, first trip to the bench for the grad student captain.
That one right off the hands of Quinn.
Quinn in her sophomore year with the Bears, seeing an uptick in minutes coming during the break. And she's someone who last year as a freshman saw a decent amount of playing time coming off the bench. A very similar play style to Sophia Goucher, who is a big loss for the Bears this past season. Luckily for them, they were able to get Kylie Peachy back. And then, of course, like we said, Gallagher, Burchart, and Bradbury as transfers. So you lose a couple, you gain a couple. And this Bears team has been good. They had a rough patch late in 2024, but they've started out the new year pretty solid. As Grassi has the ball now. Not gonna lie, I could not see anything. There's a monitor right in front of me. I should have looked there. That one's on me.
It's a travel on Aaron Rice.
Rice, the senior captain for the Bears, subs in for the first time out of Medway. Rice with the ball now, gets it to Quinn. Quinn, one-handed dish to Grassi underneath, who's fouled.
It's a great pass from Quinn inside, finding Grassi down low. And right back to the free throw line.
Hart called for the foul. Catherine Hart called for the foul. As Grassi will go to the line again, shooting two.
This is that first one.
2 for 3 on the night. This is the senior captain from Plymouth. And make it 3 for 4 as Ashley Johnson gets ready to sub in. She'll replace Kylie Grassi. Johnson, another one of those freshmen who saw some time, less than Quinn, but still saw some time playing last year as a freshman, now in her sophomore year with the Bears, and has also seen minutes increase as of late, as firing away and knocking down at threes, Kaylin Tanner.
That was from way beyond the arc.
Yeah, she was at least 1.5 feet back. Burchart passes it off to Van Etten. She'll try a shot. She'll miss. Quinn able to swat that board over to Burchart. Burchart dives on it, gets it out to Johnson, who's double teamed and fouled.
Smallest person on the court getting the offensive rebound after missing her own shot.
Ashley Johnson will go to the line for the first time in this game. And Burchart, like you said, 5'6", shortest player on the court, 5'4", shortest player on the court. And still, she'll give you 6 rebounds a night easily. There's been multiple games where she's led the Bears in boards.
Bears right now going actually very small. Tallest player being Van Etten, Rice, and Johnson, all 5'7". And this is one lineup we haven't seen all year.
Well, this is a combination of players, like you said. Haven't seen the court together this season. But this is, outside of Rice, a good look at the future of your team. Because obviously Burchart going to retain that starting role next year. Gallagher, I'd expect, given how much she plays off the bench, to move into the starting lineup as well. And then Thompson, Van Etten, and then either Quinn and Johnson taking that 5th spot is how I'd expect the team to look next season. So again, this is, we've talked about it in games prior, but the Bears losing quite a bit this offseason. As Van Etten misses that one. You're losing Grassi, Rice, Peebles, Cleveland, DeMoores, and Peachy. So 4 of your starting 5, and then one of your top options off the bench, all of your captains. It's going to be a much different looking team next season, at least in terms of the starting lineup, as Quinn fouls.
That was a nice play by Johnson. Saw that she couldn't get the pass, decided to take it herself. Pump fakes once, gets the easy basket. Putting the Bears up by 30 now. Biggest lead.
Three points on the game for Johnson, 2 for Quinn. Everybody else on the floor scoreless for the Bears. For the Falcons, Tanner's got 4, Som has 5, and Harlow has 7. Burchart working quickly, less than a minute left to play in the half. Burchart slowing things down. Gets it to Van Etten. Rice calls for the pass underneath. Aaron Rice tries the lefty layup through some contact, not able to get it to drop. Long pass finds Harlow. Quinn tries to get there, not in time. Riley Harlow.
That was a touchdown pass right there.
Threw that on a dime.
And catching it in stride.
Johnson swings to Quinn. Quinn now to Rice. Under 10 left to go. Rice loses it for a second. Van Etten there to get the ball back. Burchart up top. Tries to float it up. She'll miss. Gets her own rebound. Misses. Gets her on board again and misses again. That's what we're talking about. 5'4" and will out-rebound your best player. 51-23. Bears lead going into the half. And it has been an explosion offensively for Bridgewater. Grassi leads the team. Grassi and Peachy lead the team with 14 apiece. Going into half number 2. We'll be back with you after the break here on BSN, on BTV.
A community that cares is how you're going to get where you want to go.
Classes are held in the evening and late afternoon.
It offers smaller class sizes. It's a convenient location.
But I've also been given the opportunity to take a graduate assistantship, get hired as an intern.
Career services here at Bridgewater has been a great resource for me.
That's a timeout on betting. It completely changed the game, and you didn't even notice. Let me break it down for you. Betting ads are setting the blitz and getting you to play the game. Many of you are falling for it and losing big money. Addiction is happening in some more than others. Now players are getting harassed by bettors. And we all know that's not how the game is won. So it's on us to be good teammates and draw the line to stay ahead of betting consequences.
Welcome back to the Bears Sports Network here on BTV. The Bears and the Falcons, a lot less of a close game than the men. 51-23. Bears lead the Falcons. We have some stats for you right here. You see the field goal percentage. The Falcons not looking too great. 4 of 11 from the charity stripe too. They've been getting out-rebounded. Twice as many for the Bears. 8 more offensive boards. Bears 26 points off turnovers off of 12 steals forced. I mean, this has just been a rough game for Fitchburg in just about every way. Peachy with 3 steals for the Bears, Grossi with 2. They both have 14 points as well. 5 boards for Grossi, 6 for Peachy. They have been doing a lot of work out here for the Bears. Cleveland has 6, Thompson has 2, Johnson has 3. Quinn and Azoff have 2, Bradbury has 6, and Peebles has 2. The Bears started going to the bench pretty early in this game. You saw Quinn, Johnson, and Rice come out fairly early. Azoff as well. It'll be interesting to see who they roll with to start off the second half of play.
The one stat that definitely stood out to me was Fitchburg's 18 turnovers. Now, while they're not on pace to have the same amount of turnovers they did previously, still nowhere where you want to be. And having only a couple of players scoring, that's not the formula for winning.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, it is an improvement. But again, that's not what you want to be calling an improvement. That's, you know, anything's better than the game against Westfield, but still, they could very well hit that mark here anyway. They'll start with the ball as it's actually the starting 5 back out there for the Bears. I'm a little surprised. Starting 5 out there for both teams as Somm misses it all, and Grossi's there for the board. Grossi, long shovel right into the arms of Peachy, who finds Burchart. What a pass from Kylie Peachy. Burchard out to Cleveland for 3. Almost got a shooter's bounce, just almost kept it in bounds, but stepped out the process. I think her foot just caught the baseline, and it'll be Falcons' ball. Hart. Back to Hart. She's taking it up now on Grassi. Tanner drives inside to Moores, gets a hand on it, and Jess outmuscles Stephanie Hart for the rebound. Grossi unlucky on the roll. Cleveland there for the board. Puts it up left-handed, and Stephanie Hart comes up with the board. Catherine Hart shovels it across. Kaylin Tanner. Tanner tries the lefty layup. Harlow pokes that one out of bounds. And it'll be Bears ball.
A couple of turnovers and easy missed baskets for both teams so far.
Burchart Over to Grossi. A press coming out for the Falcons, but they leave DeMoores open, trying to get their hands on the pass. A little bit of a defensive miscue there. Left Jess with some space. Cleveland drives in, puts it high off the glass, but gets fouled in the process. It's going to be Kaylin Tanner, the guilty party, with her second foul of the game. We have the replay right here.
Cleveland just decided to take it herself, and you saw right on the backside, right on the arm.
And granted, that wasn't anything terrible, but still a foul as Cleveland misses her first. She's got 6 points on the game so far. The senior from Groveland, Mass. Started the last 3 years for the Bears. As the pass misses Hart, and we've seen this so many times this game, just passing miscues for the Falcons. And there's another one, the first of the half. But that had been a huge problem that had plagued them in the first half. And that's part of the reason why they had 18 turnovers coming into the third quarter.
And for most teams, I probably would say that it's very uncharacteristic, but the way this game's been going, it's pretty characteristic, all the turnovers that we've seen from Fitchburg.
And just the track record as of late, like against Westfield. And again, Westfield is a great team, like constantly in the MASCAC championship. They play a unique style of basketball, but they are always at the top of the MASCAC, and a great defensive team as well, but still. I mean, that is just absurd numbers as DeMoores missed her first. And she'll miss them both. Cleveland there for the rebound. She puts it up, she'll miss, and it's Hart with the board. DeMoores pokes it away. Cleveland working with the ball now. And Aria Cleveland puts it off the glass.
Cleveland getting some redemption after the easy miss, and this should be an easy basket here.
DeMoores, I think, got her hand on it again. Not that it mattered all that much, as Tanner was able to score anyway, but still, just some good hand placement by Jess DeMoores. As Grossi fires away, and nothing but nylon. Kylie Grossi knocks another one down. 17 points on the game.
And we know she can score in bunches. When she gets hot, she gets hot. Look out. Another turnover, my goodness. Fitchburg's on pace to score under 50.
See the replay right here. You can see
man.
just her left foot barely on the line. Grossi underneath. Spin move, misses. And Grossi sent to the ground here. She'll get called for the foul. Her first. As you can see, she had her hand in the cookie jar right there on Hart. Still.
See, those ones are tough to call because their hands get pinned, but most of the time we'll see that get called on the person's hand who got pinned.
Cleveland in the paint, shutting down Stephanie Hart.
Just walks back unfazed after the great defensive play inside.
Cleveland now forced to defend the perimeter, pokes it away from Harlow right into the hands of Jess DeMoores. Cleveland on the other end in transition off the glass. Ario Cleveland gets it to roll.
Making ends meet at both sides, poking the ball away, and then getting the basket. Great sequence there from Cleveland.
And they'll call DeMoores for the foul there.
It's her third.
You don't really have to worry about Jess being in foul trouble too much with the lead. Obviously, you don't want her to foul out, but the Bears with a 34-point lead here with 6:40 left to go in the half as Harlow makes her first. Jeunesse going to go ahead and sub on here, as is DeSimone.
Don't be surprised if we see Bridgewater's bench come into this game pretty early.
Harlow gets the rebound off her own missed free throw. Travel's called here on Morgan Jeunesse. And I was, to be honest with you, kind of surprised we didn't see them come out to start the half.
Ooh, almost a travel there.
Great pass by Peachy to find Grossi. Grossi underneath for Cleveland, and Ariel Cleveland has been dominating the game in the paint. 13 points on the game for the senior captain. DeSimone drives in on Burchard, outside for Harlow. And Harlow's called for a travel here.
You have 3 Bears in double digits right now. That's a great sign.
Grossi with 17, Peachy with 14, Cleveland with 13. There's Grossi. High pass finds Cleveland. Cleveland underneath. I think she was looking for Demores, but she got caught on Jeunesse, and it's going to go out of bounds. Falcons ball.
She knew it right away. As soon as that pass went out of bounds, she pointed at Demores and was like, that's my bad.
Yeah, Demores got hung up a little bit there on Morgan Jeunesse. Moving through the paint,
Another
another travel.
That's 3 straight travels in the same spot. This is unbelievable.
Bench maybe starting to come in here. Bradbury and Van Etten come into the game. Burchart and Demores head to the bench. I'd expect that wouldn't be the last of them, but with Demores at risk of fouling out, it could be. Bradbury, 2 for 3 from beyond the arc. Thought about the shot, passes it inside. Van Etten in the paint, and the Bears get another.
Bears almost up by 40 here. It's currently a 37-point game. My goodness.
Tanner fires away from the corner. Kaylin Tanner gets one to drop.
And it's games like this, especially for Fitchburg, you got to find some semblance of just keep playing. I know you're down by a lot, but you just have to keep playing the game.
And the Bears unrelenting. Peachy with another steal, her 4th of the game. And Cleveland with another basket. 15 points on the game. Tanner from a little bit behind the free throw line. That'll be Peachy. Slowing things down. It feels like a lot of these possessions have been very quick. Bradbury, 2 for 3 from 3. 2 for 4 now. Cleveland there for the rebound. Cleveland will try the long ball. And Ariel Cleveland cashes it in. Gallagher getting ready to sub back on alongside Chloe Azoff. 30-second timeout called by Fitchburg State.
Ariel Cleveland is on an absolute tear right now. I believe she has the last 8 points for Bridgewater. Oh my goodness. And this play all happens because of Van Etten able to tip it. Cleveland sets fires and cashes it in.
All the time in the world. You see Gallagher celebrating in the background as she comes to check in.
Take a look at the pep band.
So it's Van Etten, Gallagher, Azoff, Bradbury, and Peachy out there now for the Bears. And this is, I think, the point where they'll start emptying the bench even further as the game goes on. Harlow outside to Jeunesse. Bradbury all over her. Adiza tries to float down in, misses. Harlow for the 3. Gallagher with a late contest. Harlow, bounce pass, baseline. Adiza runs right into Mairead Gallagher.
Gallagher just got there a half step too late.
Less of a push, more of a grab.
Could have easily been a jump ball there if he had gotten there a little earlier, but regardless.
Thompson comes into the game now. She'll replace Peachy. And yes, Mairead Gallagher, it is Bears ball.
Some visible frustration from the Falcons.
I mean, you know, to be on this end of a game like this, it is, you know, I'm sure For any former athletes listening, it's happened to most of us, but not necessarily on this stage. And it's just not a fun position to be in. When you know you're down this much in an all but insurmountable, wow.
Talk about a bounce right there.
I was about to say, talk about a shooter's bounce for Riley Harlow. That was a little bit of suspense on that one. It's good to see, though, the Falcons bench is still very much in this game. And so are the players on the court. Despite the scoreboard, they're still keeping it 100. And that's, I think, just what you want to see from your players and your teammates as a program.
100%. And you said it. It's tough, especially in these kind of games. We've all been there at some point where it's down, where you kind of feel like you're not really playing for much. But at this point, you're playing for your pride. You need to just have some semblance, especially just going to the next game where you want to have some momentum.
Mairead Gallagher, perfect from the free throw line. As she'll extend the Bears' lead here to 38, and Azoff caught with her hand in the cookie jar, as that's her first foul. The one thing the Bears have struggled with this game is fouls. They put the Falcons into the bonus very early, and lucky for them, the Falcons have struggled from the free throw line. They just put the Falcons in the bonus again.
With the and one from Stephanie Hart.
But this is such an improvement for the Bears based off of the game against the Lancers. Like we said, not a good game shooting at all. They are 25 of 56 from the field, good for 44.6%. 6 of 14 from beyond the arc. That is double the amount of three-pointers they made the whole game against Worcester State, 42.9%, and then 14 of 20 from the free throw line. That might be a season best.
And we know this Bears team is pretty good. I mean, they're 10-6, most likely going to be 11-6 by the end of this game with the way things are going. But the one thing they've struggled with this entire year is consistency, especially from beyond the arc. If you can keep up these numbers, this team's really hard to stop.
Yeah, and this is a team that has a lot of scores. Obviously, you got Grassi, who is the primary scorer on this team, the all-time leader in Bears women's basketball history. But this team goes deep as Gallagher fires a long ball, and almost, I thought for a second she had the bounce.
I think
they're going to call a foul here on Morgan Jeunesse. The Falcons bench is arguing that the three from Gallagher bounced behind or off top of the backboard.
I think she might have hooked him inside. It could be wrong. That time it'll be Falcons ball. So that foul didn't really make a difference.
I completely lost my train of thought. I'm not even going to lie. Falcons ball as they'll take it up now. It's Jeunesse. Harlow. And Jeunesse working on Bradbury. Harlow set the screen. Jeunesse went the other way.
Great play from Van Etten and all ball.
That's what I was saying. This Bears team goes deep. You obviously have Grassi, who's your primary scorer, but you got Peachy, you got Cleveland, you got any of your top 6 players can give you double digits any game. And then, you go deeper than that. You got Thompson, who's done it before as well. And then Bradbury, who arguably one of the best three-point shooters on this roster. As she's showcased today, 50% from beyond the arc, as Azoff with the foul here.
100%. Got her right on her arm. Easy call. And one thing, I know I haven't mentioned this, but Fitchburg only lost to Westfield by 14, 84-70. So it was a decently close game between both teams, as good as Westfield actually is.
And that's also absurd when you account for the turnovers they had, that it was such a small deficit. As Thompson drives in, and she gets another basket, 72-37.
I looked up, saw Thompson at the behind the three-point line, looked down for half a second, and she's already at the basket. That's the type of player Thompson is.
It's a real flashy score. She's got the speed to make anyone miss and just score inside quickly. Azoff with a long ball right into the hands of Riley Harlow. Quinn trying to work behind Harlow to poke that ball free. Peebles shuts things down in the paint, and that's good. Jordan Peebles almost put that in the arms of Hart, who stepped out of bounds. If you see, Peebles is on her way out after blocking that, and just almost hands it to Hart, who's off balance and steps out of bounds. That is, I don't know if Jordan Peebles meant to do that, but that is awesome.
It's pretty much exactly what she did.
It's hot potato, and Stephanie Hart lost. Quinn's called for a travel.
That's one thing they've called all game long. Travel here, travel there, travel everywhere you go.
On both teams, too. It hasn't just been one. We saw it was kind of symptomatic for Fitchburg for a while, but they've cleaned the foul or the travels up.
Ooh.
Thompson called for a foul here?
Let's see.
She is.
Good pass inside.
That's the third for Lexi
Thompson.
Thompson.
Yeah, brought
she
her
got
hand. One thing they always teach you is when you go straight up, never bring your hands down. They will call you a foul 100% of the time.
First free throw not going to go for the Falcons. Neither is the second. Rebound Bradbury. .35 seconds left to go. Thompson working on Adisa. What a crossover by Lexi Thompson. Passes off to Azoff in the corner. Now Quinn up top. Emily Quinn drives in, goes out to Azoff for three again. Chloe Azoff gets one to fall.
Azoff, a good three-point shooter, has been cold all night. Finally gets one to go there.
Bradbury with some tight defense on Jeunesse. The whole Bears team with tight defense to close out the quarter. Quinn all over Som. Som to Adisa in the corner. Thompson contests, and Adisa misses. The Bears, 75-37. Leading the Falcons here with 10 minutes left on the clock. What a game from Bridgewater State. Cleveland leads both teams with 18. 7 of 10 from the field. Grassi with 17. Peachy, 7 of 8 from the field. She hasn't really shot in a while. Not that she's been on the court in quite some time, but she's got 14. Bradbury with 6. Azoff with 5. Thompson with 4. Johnson with 3. Quinn, Gallagher, Peebles, and Van Etten with 2. For the Falcons, Harlow's got 13. Tanner has 9. Stephanie Hart with 7. Som with 5. Adisa has 2, and Catherine Hart has 1. And the Falcons shooting 27.3% from the field on this game, which is just not where you want to be. Oddly enough, their three-point percentage is not terrible. They're 5 of 12. That's actually just where you want to be. 40% is something to be pretty happy about in terms of free throw percentage. Did I say free throw percentage? I meant three-point percentage. But free throws, 8 of 18.
Yeah, not where you want to be.
It's ironic because that's something we've talked about being a problem for the Bears for so much of this season coming into this game. And now it's the Falcons, the opponent, who are struggling in that regard. Erin Rice checked into the game after the break, as she'll get the ball here and put it in.
That all came from Peebles losing the ball. Rice able to retain it. Gets her first basket of the day. Illegal screen on Harlow.
Second personal foul of the game for Harlow. We have the replay right here. You can see didn't really have her feet set, moving into Azoff. As Thompson has it up top, now Azoff. Trying to cross over, forced to pass away to Thompson. Quinn now will work inside. Working baseline, bounce pass to Peebles. Peebles dives on it. And jump ball, it's gonna go to the Falcons.
Quinn tried to work that in, the Peebles inside, just couldn't corral it.
You can see Catherine Hart was right in front of Jordan Peebles, kind of disrupted it. And forced the turnover. On the jump ball, it's Harlow.
Oh.
Wow.
And then over the back.
Can you get any more unlucky than that? I mean, that was, I don't know what else she had to do there. That one, man.
It was on Guillaume right there.
Pretty emblematic of how the game's gone for the Falcons. As Azoff with a tough basket, the reverse layup at the baseline for the freshman.
And for somebody who doesn't get a lot of minutes, one thing I have noticed pretty much the entire year, Chloe Azoff is usually the first one on the court for this Bears team.
Yeah, that's what you like to see out of your players. And then, obviously, she's going to have a chance to find herself in the starting lineup as Shania Gardner comes into the game for the first time. The freshman out of Brockton, Mass, not too far down the road from here at the Tinsley Center. So Gardner in for the first time from Brockton, but an East Bridgewater graduate. High school teammates with Sophie Bradbury. Gardner right off the bench, an unlucky bounce. Peebles there for the board. And Jordan Peebles gets fouled going up with the basket.
Gardner almost making a three right off the bat, but Peebles, we've known her to do this all year, is clean up the offensive glass. Gets a foul call there and right back to the line.
So Peebles to the line for two.
Misses the second one. A jump ball.
Possession arrows in the direction of the Bears. Off the jump ball. As it'll be Azoff to trigger in from the baseline. And Shania Gardner, I don't know if you caught that. The bench got very excited when she put that three up. As Azoff knocks down a three, speaking of. But the bench got very excited about that three by Gardner because it looked good, but Shania Gardner still seeking her first collegiate points as she gets a board there, loses it. Ball's headed out of bounds. And it's going to be Falcons ball.
Gardner had it for the moment, lost it to Hart right there. Ooh.
Oh,
That one just died on the rim.
foul is called on Peebles. Gardner's played 1 minute this season coming into this game. With 7:49 left to go, I hope she plays the entirety of the game and gets that point as Harlow misses her first.
The last time both of these teams met up last year, Bridgewater had won this game 95-51.
It's
This is on pace to be much worse.
trending in that direction. Good for the Bears, not great for the Falcons. Harlow pokes it away from Emily Quinn. And Quinn tries to get her get back, gets her hand on it. Eliza Somm is there to get the ball back for the Falcons. Hart drives inside, out up top, Hart, and in one.
She's had a couple of those today. Definitely one of their more consistent players is Stephanie Hart, the senior from Shirley, Mass.
Perfect form on the the free throw. She sinks it. As they're pressing up on the Bears, Rice with the ball, floats it over to Quinn. Quinn gives it back to Rice. Yes, give the ball to Gardner. Underneath, Peebles Up top, Azoff. Ooh, Peebles gets the board stripped away by Hart. Catherine Hart goes out to Stephanie Hart. Now the ball is shot by Tanner. The ref was in my way. I couldn't tell who that was. But Kaylin Tanner knocks down another three. She's got 9. That one broken up. They were looking for Rice. Riley Harlow there instead. And Harlow gets some points there. Timeout called.
And this is
Bridget Casey.
And this is what I'm saying, especially if you're Fitchburg, you're down 36 points with 6:40 to go. Probably a improbable comeback. You got to still fight. You got to still play. There's still 6:40 to go. You don't stop playing until there's triple zeros on that clock. Play for your pride at this point. A couple of baskets got this Fitchburg bench excited.
And you saw it there. Riley Harlow still playing at 110% right there, forcing the breakup and then scoring the basket for the Falcons. She's had a good game. 16 points for Harlow so far today. Rice, Azoff, Quinn, Gardner, Peebles remain out there for the Bears. Tanner, Somm, Hart, Harlow, and Hart out there for the Falcons. We have seen, I believe, every Bear on the roster other than Chloe Cosme. As Azoff tries the long ball, she'll miss. Rice with a huge block. Trickles off the hand of Azoff. Shania Gardner there with the ball for Bridgewater. Gardner Euros her way through the paint. Unable to cash it in. Might have caught a foul there, but no whistle. As Hart.
There's another block.
Karen Rice, back-to-back possessions with blocks for Rice. She gets the ball stolen from her by Harlow, and Riley Harlow again.
Great steal. Rice didn't even see her coming.
Quinn. Outside to Rice. Rice flips to Quinn. They got Gardner in the corner. Peebles underneath. And Jordan Peebles puts it off the glass. Johnson and Cosme getting ready to sub into the game.
Despite the lead here, both benches, both very vocal.
Harlow for 3. And Peebles with the board. When Chloe Cosme subs in, that'll be every Bear on the roster will have played in this game. Rice tries the layup, misses into the hands of Riley Harlow. Tanner working on Azoff. Azoff tries to get her hand on it. Tanner blows right by her.
Tanner does a nice job using her body to shield off Azoff there.
And the men's team for Fitchburg still energetic, supporting the women's team from the stands as there's a foul here.
Let's see. Yeah, Hart brought her arm down on Peebles. Bears are in the bonus, so Peebles will be at the line there.
Quinn and Rice sub off. Cosme and Johnson come on. Ashley Johnson out there for her second shift. Cosme on the court for the first time. First time on the floor in the Tinsley Center for the freshman. Some more local talent with Carly Cosme, not too far away in Somerset. Board disputed. Azoff comes up with it. Long ball to Gardner. Shania Gardner still looking for those first points. Unselfish play out to Johnson for 3. Johnson misses. Peebles keeps it in. Azoff tries the long ball. She'll miss. Gardner there for the board. Gets it back to Azoff. And they'll slow things down. Johnson moving inside, loses the ball through some contact. No foul called. Out up top to Azoff.
Oh my goodness.
Chloe Azoff, unlucky bounce there. Cosme underneath. And it's a jump ball, Falcons ball.
You got around 5 possessions there. Couldn't come up with anything.
Full timeout called by the Falcons. trailing here by 34 points with just under 4 minutes left to go. The Bears have emptied the bench, gone to mainly freshmen. 3 on the court now for the Bears, alongside Peebles, the senior, and Johnson, the sophomore. As this game has been all Bears since the very beginning. Cleveland still leads the way with 18 points. Riley Harlow for the Falcons, 18 as well. Rossi with 17, then Peachy and Tanner with 14. Azoff and Stephanie Hart with 10. Azoff struggling from beyond the arc, 2 of 9, but unwavering confidence. And the freshman in double digits.
You know, I will say, we don't have a very big crowd here, but I'm loving the energy from some of these fans.
The cheer team getting down with it too, and there's some youth, I think it's Raynham youth women's basketball down there as well, getting into the music with the cheerleaders. As Janess misses that one and has to laugh about it as she missed the rim. Azoff with the ball. Gardner moving inside. Azoff one-on-one here with DeSimone. Out to Peebles. Peebles now to Cosme. Now Johnson. Azoff tries the mid-range jumper and gets it to fall. 12 points on the game for Azoff.
Azoff showing off her shooting ability. We haven't seen that too many times. As we said before, she's going to get too much playing time. But now already with 12 off the bench. Ooh. Ouch.
Player on the ground here for the Falcons. It's, I believe, Hart. It is Stephanie Hart, to be exact.
Ooh, yeah, ooh.
Got tangled up there with Carly Cosme going for the board. And then she'll sub off. Falcons with a pair of substitutions here. DeSimone with the ball. Fakes out Azoff. Gardner almost got her hand on it. Janess now passes it out to Ashley Hart. Hart in the game for the first time.
Still there.
All 3 Harts on this team are related. I know Catherine and Stephanie were. I was unsure about Ashley Hart, but
There's a third one?
she just subbed in for the first time. And there's a third one, a younger sister. The freshman out of Shirley, Mass, Johnson, is shut down in the paint. But the ball will remain with Bridgewater. Adisa will sub into the game. She'll replace Riley Harlow, the leading scorer for the Falcons so far. 18 on the game for Harlow. Johnson rifles it into Cosme. Cosme muscles her way through the paint and gets it to fall. And the first collegiate points for Carly Cosme. And the Bears bench was ecstatic. Adisa misses on the other end. Bears come up with the board. It's Azoff.
There's only one Bear that hasn't scored this game.
Azoff drives in. A minute 40 or so still on the clock for that to change. Actually, there's a couple. Demores and Burchard are also at 0. But if the ones on the court, Gardner still without points.
Demores and Burchard had 0?
Yeah, a little bit uncharacteristic for those two, but both of them ended their night with 0. Of course, Demores left relatively early with the 3 fouls. As Peebles will head to the bench, Van Etten will come in. Four freshmen on the court now for the Bears with the sophomore Johnson. The Falcons still looking to add something to the scoreboard. Cosme taking it up, passes to Azoff. Gardner Up top. Thinks about the shot. Works inside. Swings to Johnson. Ashley Johnson trying to work through Tanner. And stuffed in the paint. Good footwork by Johnson. Unable to finish. Under a minute left to go. Azoff pokes that one away. Gardner comes over to double team. Hart with the long ball. Azoff with the rebound. All I'm saying, 45 seconds left. Get the ball to Shania Gardner. I need to see some points from her by the end of the game. How great would that be to have two freshmen score their first points? Gardner misses, and that'll be out.
They're really hoping for that one to go in.
Still time. Still time.
No, they won't do anything.
Broken up by Azoff. Gardner comes up with it. Azoff in transition. And Chloe Azoff, 16 points.
Off the bench. Out of nowhere, the third leading scorer for the team.
Dare I say, Chloe Azoff, maybe a rookie of the week in your future.
Very possible.
7 boards to go along with her 16 points. The Bears have been racking up the awards. Grossi named to the New England Women's Basketball Association Team of the Week. MASCAC Player of the Week as well coming into this game. And that'll do it for the Bears and the Falcons. 92-52, Bears win. Every player rostered for Bridgewater touched the court this game, but it was Ariel Cleveland who led the way with 18, Grassi with 17, Azoff with 16, and Peachy with 14 for the Falcons. Riley Harlow with 18 points. From all of us here at BSN on BTV, my name's Luke Mansfield.
My name's Zach Sylvia.
That'll do it for us. We'll be back with you soon. Thanks for watching.